All right, thanks for coming back, guys. Winning with blends, let's get into it. So today what we want to do is talk about how to create customized drum kits. All right, so designing custom drum kits. If it's your first time here, of course, subscribe to the channel. Why not? Hit the notification bells if you want to be notified as anytime we drop something new. And of course, tell a friend, share it on X, do whatever you want to do, guys, just have fun with these videos, learn something. I do hope, put it in a playlist, and share it with somebody who's actually looking to improve on their music production and to learn how to use FL Studio Mobile. All right, so are we ready to get into it? I think so. Okay, so let's start right over here. Let's go to the drums. So we're going to get into the drum sampler. It's now just called drums, right? So we're going to open up drums. And as you see, we've got a lot of different kits, maybe 10 or 12 kits, something like that. And maybe 13 kits, essentially 13. And one thing that's to note, in a recent update, we now have 909 kick drums. Or a 909 kick drum. So let's try that one out. As a matter of fact, let's see what we've got here and make sure that we're here. And here we go. Let's try this out. Okay, here's a snare drum. Okay, good. So what we're going to do is look at these drum kits and essentially make our own drum kits. You hear that nice bass drum right there. Let me make sure that the levels are not too spicy, but it's fine. We're going to go in a little bit, just a little bit, guys. All right. Okay, so here we go. So there we go. We now have a kick drum for this particular drum kit. So let's just look through a lot of the ideas. This video, I'm going to do my best, guys, to make this super fast, but, let's just dive in. So let's go into, let's just say we wanted to use this kit. What you can do, of course, is create a drum pattern. Let's just create a drum pattern. Okay. Let's do it like this. Here we go. Let's do it like that. Okay. So just a drum pattern. We're going to start with a drum pattern and we'll do some off. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Nope. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. Nope. Okay, let's just say that's cool. That's cool for now. So we've got a basic drum pattern, guys. There you go. Video done. Thanks for checking this out. Winning with blends. All good. See you next time. Bye. All right. No, I'm just playing. Obviously, just joking. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little deeper and we're going to learn more about how to work with these, essentially how to work with these different patches here. So you can double click, depending on what tablet you're on or what device you're on. Sometimes it's a single click, sometimes it's a double click, or sometimes it's a long press, pardon me. But what we can do here is we can check out the sampler and we can adjust the pitch. So let's just say we want to adjust the pitch of the snare drum, which I kind of do. So let's go to the snare drum. There, so we adjusted the pitch. Let's adjust the pitch of the hi-hat too. Okay. Now watch this. Okay. Stretch it. Listen to that. Let me go back to mixer and mute this and solo the drums, the snare. So it's stretched. Let's go back to the sampler and let's refresh that back to the original. Okay. Now we can adjust where it starts. Okay. Let's stretch it and adjust where it starts. Let's bring it back. So it's going to be even earlier. You hear that? Different beat. Okay. So that's one thing. So you could definitely, and you can also reverse. Okay. You don't want to forget reverse. A beautiful thing is right there. As you see, I just click this right here, tap any of these, and you can load a sample. So boom, this is already us getting into custom samples, custom drum kits. You can choose from whatever snare samples are available that are given to us, but you can also load your own very simply by going to My Files and of course going to My Samples and loading your sounds that you took. Maybe you clapped into the mic, or maybe you really got a snare drum from a different kit. Maybe you recorded a snare drum and you chopped it, you processed it, and you just essentially dropped it into your local data, or on your PC or your Mac, whichever way, or you just dropped it into your My Samples folder onto your tablet or your mobile device, whatever, your hard drive. Many ways, okay. But beautiful. You can simply choose whatever snare drum you want. That's one way to do it. Okay, let's keep going and we'll get into some more ways. Okay, envelope. So now what we can do is we can adjust how long and how short, how quickly some of these sounds come to an end. So let's just say for the snare drum, I want it to be a little sharp, snappier. So I don't want there to be as much release. So I might drop the release. Okay. And as a matter of fact, for the hi-hat, I definitely want to lower the release. I want this to be super light, just a touch, as little as possible. I don't want it to be a long drawn out hit. And now you might notice that more with something like a cymbal. Let's see. Let's get 2 cymbals. Now listen to this one. Listen to watch this. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. There we go. Hear that? We raise the attack, so it takes longer for it to get to that full velocity. So that's one. I don't really want to use as kicks, which is fine. So let's just reset these. If anything, no problem. Okay. Here we go. I guess this is reset like that, but that's not a big deal. We're not going to use that for this pattern so far. So there you go. That's a couple of quick ideas of how to process the envelopes within your instruments. So if they're long sounds, you want them to be shorter, you can always do that. Now let's also look at sequence. This was where it gets a little more complicated, just a little bit more. But what you can do here is very beautiful. You can actually send, by clicking the auxiliary, we'll start all the way at the right, clicking auxiliary, and we can create an auxiliary channel. So essentially we can send just this bass drum to any amount of, or any effects channel we want. So far we don't have any effects channels. I'll actually go out and prove it. We have no effects channels here. All we have is a master. So we can always go like this and add an effects channel like that. So that's effects channel number 2, as you see right there. But if we go back here and we click this and we want to send the bass drum to auxiliary 2, sure, we can click that, but we can also click create effects channel. So where's the effects channel? Okay, let's go out here. And of course we have effects channel right here. And you'll see that there's some activity happening on this channel right now. Let's go here just to verify. So effects 3, we're going to rename this one. Why don't we rename this one bass drum? Or let's just call it bass drum. I think that's a reasonable name. Or, okay, so bass drum. Okay, cool. Let's do it like that. So now we got the bass drum there. And what we'll do is we'll send the snare drum to auxiliary 2, the original one that we created. Okay, and let's check here. You see the snare drum coming through here, right? Tap, tap. So let me move this one. So the snare drum is coming through here. So what we'll do is we'll rename this one to snare, simply put. Okay. And now all we have is the hi-hat coming through the main channel. So let's do it like this. Why not? Let's just send the hi-hat, the 2 hats, as you see, 1 and 2. These are both hats. So we will create a new drum effect channel, and we'll send both of them to the same, which is going to be effect 4, the only one that we just created that has no name. So let's just move these around, put the bass drum on top, snare drum at the bottom, actually the hi-hat at the bottom, and we'll rename this one to, let's just call this one hats. Okay, boom. So now we have 3 different channels playing this one drum track. If I mute the drum track, it's still playing through those channels. But what we can do to dive in a little deeper, if we now have other sounds that happen to appear here, let's just say those ones will actually come through this channel. So this is, as you can see, this is just the symbol, that crash symbol that we just put in. So let me just go back in and drop that. Okay, guys, we're getting a little deep right now, but that's just the nature of things. Okay, so what we can do is, let me find one sound that I think is decent. Let's find, yeah. There we go. Let's use that. Okay, for now. Let's use 2. So we have 2 chances to hear what we're going to do. So what we can do with this one is we can, of course, shift it. So if we shift it earlier, the note is going to come earlier. If we shift it later, this is the original. Okay, if we shift it later, it's coming later. So you have a lot of flexibility here. Even though there's a grid right here, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, it's a small grid of 16, but you get a chance to shift it to whatever you want. So you can actually fine tune your hits to be at pretty much any interval, which is pretty cool. So now, we also have the ability to do something where we have, you see, poly, okay? So this one, let's see if I can do it here. Let me think of how I want to do that. If I right click and or depending on, again, the system you're on, there are different ways of doing this. You can always fill every step. You can fill every other step. You can fill each 4 steps. I love that. You can also load drum sets. You can save the drum set. You can clone it. You could set the MIDI key. So whatever you want this particular drum sound to be, whatever button you want or whatever key you want to trigger this thing to be triggered by, you can set it like that. So, and also let's look into this. You can actually maneuver this. You can switch these around to put them where you want. If it's a touch screen, perhaps you want to set it to be 2 halves like that. If you want, you could put the cymbals on the right side. You could put the snare on the right, the bass drum on the left. There's so many things you can do, right? So I think it's fantastic. So now let's take a look here. Okay, so if I go and let me add a cymbal, something that's a little longer. Okay, let's try to get some long sounds. This one. Okay. So hear that? Now watch this. Here we go. Okay, and let's do something like this. Let's go back to the mixer. I'm going to turn this one down. Okay, let me add a little bit of EQing to this track just to bring it to life a little bit more for the process. Let's go like this. Let's do this. Let's do this now. Let's rock this. Let's get it out. We're going to do a little bit of compression just to get this thing up. And I'm going to actually add some of the dry signal. Okay, we're just going to pump this right now. Okay, there we go. And let's do like this. Guys, this is just part of the process. I can't help it. Sometimes I want to do the face mount tip. Sorry. Sometimes we go in and start flow in. Can't know him. Couldn't go then. Shook by the pain. Sorry, I'm going off of just off of the brain. It's insane. Sorry. You guys, you don't know. Sometimes I just can't stop with these flows. I just keep gonna go. So let's do a little EQ, okay? Just a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. Okay, let me do like this. Okay. Bit down, bit up, yep. Brighten it up a little bit. Just brighten it up a touch. Okay, that's decent for now. Let's also add, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, let's add a little bit of reverb, just a touch, something that we just, okay, and we'll get into some more. Thanks for joining me on this journey, guys. Let's do the drum room. Something simple. All right, let's see. Let's lock the tempo. Okay, and let's do Yep. Drop that down. Okay, just, you know, just a little bit, just to give it a little something, you know. And let's do one more quick thing. This is the master channel, so let's I shouldn't even be doing this right now, guys, but you know, sometimes we just have to go in. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes we just go in. Let's put the release down. We want the attack to be late. We don't want this thing to go crazy. Woo. Bring the level down. We won't do auto gain. So let's bring the threshold down. Let's put this up just to the lowest setting that we can do, and bring this. Okay, that's a bit low. That's a bit much. Let's just bring it like that. Let's just take about 3 decibels away. And then let's quickly just add a little bit of distortion so we can dive in a bit. Let's see. Okay. Again, this is just a bit to touch it up while we're going live, guys. This is how we go. Just open up the doors. Okay. All right, that's cool for now. I think that's a reasonable kind of thing. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back into it. So I had to take a pause for the cause, all right? Just because. Okay, I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm glad you're here watching me do it. Glad you're here watching me do this. Okay, so okay, all right, so let's try to show you something. Okay, so with cut groups, okay, so what the beautiful thing about this is that you can set these to be part of the same group, A, B, or C, and what they will do is they'll automatically cut off one another if there are 2 sounds that are conflicting, in the sense that if one sound is played and another one comes and interrupts it, that new sound will cut off the old sound. So listen. I'll turn this off. Okay, I'll turn these off. Just take a listen. As a matter of fact, here's the best way. Let me mute these. There we go. Okay, now watch this. I'll turn these off. I really just have to turn off one. I'll put it back on. Okay. Let's do like this. Let's go down here. Let's go here. It might not be super simple to hear, but essentially, you hear that? When we have the poly on and we have no groups, essentially, as many notes as you want, it can essentially overlap and they'll just all play at the same time. But if you have the cut groups on, they will cut each other off. Okay? You can particularly hear it with this one here. Let me turn this off. Let me go back to the original pattern. But this one, that triple, this right here, let's put this back on. Okay, we'll keep diving in, all right? So essentially, you want to use the cut groups to interrupt other sounds, essentially. You want to try your best to, depending on what you want, right? Depending on what you want, you can essentially use it to interrupt the sound if you want. If you have that idea, maybe double bass drums, a lot of kick drums, sounds that you want to interrupt each other and not have it overloaded with the same type of frequency over and over. So yeah, I would say mess around with that and you determine exactly what you want. I love this. You can determine exactly how you want to play with it and determine whether you want the poly on or the cut groups on or off. Do you want multiple notes to be able to interfere with, to be played at the same time, maybe to overlap? as one ends, the other one keeps going and they overlap? Or do you want them to cut off? Do you want, have you loaded some long drum sounds, like long cymbals? Let's say some long cymbals, for example, and do you want them to interrupt each other? Or do you want those long cymbals to ring out? It's completely up to you, right? Of course you could sample, and of course it's panning, right? Panning. Okay. Let's do it like that. Okay. So we have a fairly basic pattern here, okay? So we've kind of gone through everything. You can reverse the sounds, you can pitch shift them up and down if you want, you can let them cut each other off with this cut groups, you can adjust the poly, whether you want it to be more mono and single notes, or you want there to be some overlapping in some ways. You could set them to auxiliaries, you can to different channels for EQing separately, so we can completely separate this. The hi-hats are one, we can do our certain EQs on the hi-hats. So just for example, maybe I'll take out a parametric EQ and I'll just I don't know, like do a high pass filter and just low pass filter, pardon me, and cut this off. If it's just drums, if it's just hi-hats, you might want to cut off a bunch of the low, okay, with a low pass. If it's a bass drum, maybe you want to add a little distortion, okay. Okay, let's do something for the hi-hat. We're gonna add a little bit of chorus to the hi-hat. Let's just have fun, guys. Let's see. Add a little bit of that, and we'll add a little bit of reverb to this as well. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little multi-effects because I want a bit of that possible motion, okay? Let's do the panner. Tell me if you guys hear the hi-hat going left and right. Okay, let's get the snare drum in there too as well. Like, why not? Let's get the snare drum some love. Let's I'm going to roll off some of the bottom on the snare drum as well, okay? But I'm also going to do a little EQ to boost the snare drum, just to kind of get it out in the forefront. Let's see. Maybe not. It's too poppy. Let's drop it in the low, the super low. Okay. I'm gonna add some delay. Let's just do tape delay. Okay. There you go. Okay, so again, we're just going through some sounds. And over here, what do we have? Let's solo this. I may actually send those cymbals to the hats. Why not? Like, seriously, why not? Let's do it right now, and we'll move on in a moment. So these hats, as you see, nothing has been sent here. There's no auxiliary send. So let's create a new one for them. Let's send them to number 5, and let's actually unsolo this. So now we have number 5. Let's call this one. Let's see. Let's call this one symbol. Why not symbol? Okay. Let's do it like that. Call it symbol. And here we go. This one's a long one, guys. We're just going in. So for the cymbals, I want to add some, let's say some reverb. And I'm going to do some pretty big reverb in a way. Okay. And let's see what we can do. Okay. Let's do that. And let's do some low, let's do, pretty sick. Let's do a high pass filter though. And let's do different stuff. Okay, so it's just some ideas, right? Let's add a little bit of, let's see, a little chorus on this one. Okay, let's just say that's okay. Okay, so cool. So, oh my gosh, guys, I'm going in. We are going in. So what we're gonna do now, of course, we have this drum pattern playing, and the only thing that's coming from here is just this drum. That's it. So I might send that to the bass drum, or just leave it. Let's just leave it. Okay, cool. So let's add a new one, and I'm gonna show you a different way to create your own custom kit. Okay, so designing your own custom drum kit is how we're gonna do it. Let's go to drums. Okay, so what we can do is, I clicked off, and now we have a empty drum track. So what you can do is, one, you can say, hey, I want this track. As you see, it's empty. That's this one right here. You can click that one, and you can choose to load your own sample. We can also choose to load a drum set. So what we'll do is this. First of all, let's save this drum set. Okay, you're gonna do your long tap or your long press, or you're gonna right click depending on what you're using. Maybe just a single tap as well. And you're going to save drum set. Let's call this drum set, what are we doing? Let's call it, what are we doing? So there, we saved the drum kit, even though it's really just it's just an 808, a 909, but just to show you that you can create your own. Now we're gonna create a new one. So let's get into here and let's start adding samples by loading samples. We can also load a drum set, but we can load samples. So let's load a drum sample. Let's say we want something from this chill kit. So let's say we're gonna start with a kick as kind of usual, you know? So as a matter of fact, let me do this. Let's stop this for now. While we have the ability to, let's stop it, okay? And we can, let's go to load sample again. All right, let's check what we've got. But, okay, fine, that one's cool. So now we have a kick. Okay, so we can also load another sample. Okay, let's say we have a kick and we want some type of snare drum. So let's go to maybe Psytrance. Let's see what kind of snares we have. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna add a kick, a snare. So let's go back to the original kick that we had. Pardon me. Let's go back to the original kick that we had, and it was, I think it was this one. It was that one. So there, sorry about that. And we can remove those, we can replace those and change them around. Okay, we can also click add again. I did the wrong idea. So we're going to add again. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some percussion, and then we'll add a hi-hat. So for percussion, maybe we'll go to toms, or maybe we'll even try a riser. Okay. Let's just do that one. So now we have a riser in our drum kit, okay? A riser in our drum kit. Cool. And let's go and add a new one, and we're going to add a hi-hat. Okay, so let's go to Drumful Treasures, and let's go to hi-hats and see what we can find. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that with the clap, the snare drum kind of clap. Okay, so now look, we've got a new drum pattern. So let's drop the speed on this one, maybe to 120. Let's just do 110, okay? So let's see with our snare drum. Let's see what we've got here. So, oh, I see. Let's do solo. So for this one, what we won't actually go into this and start dissecting it and sending them to different auxiliary channels. That's not true. Maybe we'll still do it, but okay. Let's see. So let's do this like this. We can fill every step. Okay. We can fill each second step. We can fill each quarter. Let's do like this. Okay. I like that. Now look what else you can do, guys. Jump down here, and of course we're getting deeper now. Okay. This one wasn't supposed to be so long, but I'm sorry, guys. We're just going in and having a blast right now. So you could change the velocity. Okay. Okay. You can adjust the panning as well. Once it's dead center, it's going to be in the center. All right. Okay, I don't really need this to change too much. Okay, maybe just a little bit, just to, you know, just have a little movement. Why not? You can also adjust the pitch of single notes. So you can always click right in the middle, tap right in the middle, and it will go right back to the middle. Beautiful. And repeat. You can repeat notes. So watch this. Okay. This is another way you can do, you know, like, as they say, trap hi-hats or trap hi-hat rolls, just like this. Okay. Okay. Just like that. Let's just do that. Okay. And velocity, let's turn this one down. Let's see. Okay, so let's, boom, we like that. And let's see the riser. And let's actually, what we're going to do is we're going to drop this down. And we're going to make this one even bigger. Or even longer, sorry, okay? We're going to double the length of this. All right. And here we go. Okay, and we'll fill in every half. Oops, I just undid what I did before. Okay. Yep. Okay. And these notes are going to be louder, of course, so let's just kind of mess around those a bit. And we'll do a repeat right here. Right here. Okay, and we'll get a bass drum as well. There we go. And another snare drum right there. And then we'll do a okay, we'll fix that. Just be patient with me. We'll drop these down, and we'll go to the pan as well, and we'll start to pan these a bit, just for a little bit of motion, guys. Nothing major. Just a little motion. Oops. Okay, so here we go. Let's go into this one. And let's put it into B. Okay. See that? How it cuts itself off? Let's listen to the riser again. Right? Because I've got the poly off. Let's turn the poly back on. And it's going to keep going in a way. If we turn both of these to B, the hi-hat's going to cut it off. It can't even really work. But let me change that back to B. Now it's on A, so it's going to be fine. Let's leave it on A, and let's put another one to A. Let's see for this one. Let's do the snare drum. Let's put that to A. And watch when the snare drum hits, it cuts off the riser. Chopped, right? Riser, chopped. Let's move this right here. Let's see if it works at all. See the riser, the snare drum's getting cut off right now because the snare drum and the riser are both group A. Right? So when they're both hitting at the same time, it's really cool. Let's see what happens with poly off. Look at that. Chopping. Let's put this to B. Back to B. And the hi-hat's going to cut it off. See, watch this. The hi-hat just... I kind of like that. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like that, actually. Nice. Okay, guys, we're going in deep on designing custom kits. I hope you like this so far, guys. I hope you like what you're seeing. I hope you like what you've learned today. I hope you like me going in on my fantastic, hilarious, fun freestyles, right? So we learned a lot today. I hope so. And if we didn't, at least hope we were entertained and had a good time. Guys, if you like what you're hearing, definitely give a like to the video. You know, like share with a friend, tell everybody about the channel, and you know, tell them you're kind of into this new thing. Check out Justin Blends. I'm gonna add this to the end on the way out, guys. All right, so all the best to you. We could dive into the subject even further, but I think this one was lengthy enough for you guys, and I definitely think we were able to capture a lot of ideas here on how to make the best use of your samples, your drum samples. You can load your own, you could save them, you can rename them, you can name them, you can load them. It's completely your choice. There's now a 909 in one of the more recent updates, I suppose, just, you know, several months ago. So a 909 kick drum, you can go through the mixer, you can adjust the volume of all of these as well. Oops, let's go back here. You can adjust the volume of each of these sounds as well, which I find to be absolutely beautiful. Just simply right here, let's drop the hi-hat. Right, we can go to the envelope and shorten the hi-hats, sounds, and you know, I just can't help it, guys. There's just so much beautiful stuff. We can also send these to the auxiliaries, so we can send the hats to the hats, and of course the hats are soloed. So let's mute this one, and there we go. Now 2 drum patterns are playing. So because there are 2 things sent to the same thing, you know, so we're not going to do that for now. I just love this stuff, guys. It's just, to me, it's just so fun, right? Let's leave it to default, and let's turn these off. Right, I can't even play them, unfortunately, because we already sent something to those channels. So I hope you like this, guys. Winning with blends. You know, check me out, Justin Blends, guys. Stick around, check out my other channels as well. If you guys are into other things, you'll see the channels below, and join the live stream. You know, we definitely plan to bring the live stream to another platform for some reasons, for music and other purposes. So I definitely hope to see all of you here and see all of you coming to check me out. All right, guys, until next time, everyone, take it easy.